I want to welcome you all to season 3 of How to Play the Game of College. Y'all, I'm so excited about this season. The theme for this season is called Keeping It Real About College. So this season, y'all, I got some great guests, and we're going to have some real conversations when it comes to everything that you need to know about college and beyond. To kick off the season, I have a very special guest, VIP in the house. My wife, Dr. Nikayla Boyd. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Boyd.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm
Yes, yes,
shocked
yes.
that I'm a guest.
Yes. I was thinking through this season, like, who could I pull in to be my first guest for this season? Who knows me the best, right? And the theme again is called Keeping It Real. And what other person than my wife? So again, we want to welcome you to the platform. I'm going to start by letting you kick us off by telling us a little bit about yourself, your occupation, and then we'll go into the interview.
All right. So again, I'm Nikayla Boyd, and I am the executive director for a nonprofit, the Tennessee Community Health Worker Association. I've been in that role since November of 2021, and we're a small organization just really working to advance the work of community health workers across our state.
Okay. And for those, I've learned a lot from you when you say community health workers. What exactly, when we say community health workers, what exactly are they?
Yeah, so they are people from the community who share a lived experience with groups of people who need to be connected to healthcare. So they really bridge the gap between a patient and a provider.
Okay. Okay. So very, very important role in the community. Thank you for telling us about that. So outside of what you do, who is Nikayla Boyd?
Nikayla Boyd is a wife of 18 years.
All the gray hair. And also, yes.
Mine is probably grayer, it's dyed. A mother of
Okay.
2 children, 15-year-old and an 11-year-old daughter. The
Okay.
15-year-old acts like me, and the 11-year-old acts like you.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so they can tell who's giving me all the challenges. And also a professional. So yeah, outside of wife and mother, definitely a dedicated professional.
Got you.
Until you get rich and then I can quit.
Hey, we put that in the atmosphere. I receive it. I receive it. Yes, yes, yes. So again, today we're going to really just have a great conversation, a real conversation, kind of starting off around college, but I always like to say cradle through career, right? And so, and just life, if we can go back a few years, right, into your time at Middle Tennessee State University undergrad, if you can remember, how did you go about selecting that particular college that you attended for undergrad?
So to be honest,
Yeah,
I didn't select Middle Tennessee State. Middle Tennessee State University selected me.
got you.
I had applied for quite a few, but coming from a single parent home, I had to go where I could afford. And
Okay.
MTSU gave me a full ride. And so that's where I landed. I didn't even do a college tour first. I
Wow.
literally had to go where I could afford, where I knew it wouldn't break the bank for my mother.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
worked out. Thank God.
Yes. And look, when you said free and full scholarship, we talk about that in the book. Start off the book, How to Play the Game of College. If you have not gotten a copy, get a copy. But, I start off, the first chapter is college fit, right? And not going into extreme debt when it comes to colleges. And I love how you said, hey, it was a full scholarship. You have to consider things outside of yourself, such as your, being raised by a single parent, transportation to get to and from college, right? Books and all the things that come along with college. I know that you went into teaching right after college. How did you select that major, or how did you kind of start off in that particular field?
Again, you'll probably notice a theme. I did not select education.
Okay,
Education selected me.
got you.
I majored in psychology with the intent of becoming a school psychologist.
Okay,
But after college, reality hit, and I was like, I don't want to go back to school immediately. And
right.
so I started working for a small nonprofit,
Okay.
the New Mother Study,
Uh-huh.
and I actually ran into my old Spanish teacher, and I minored in Spanish in college. And she said, She worked in human resources. My former Spanish teacher, Miss Karen Champion, she worked in
Champion.
human resources for then Memphis City Schools. And she looked at my transcript. She said, "We need you here teaching."
Wow.
Literally a month later, I was in the classroom at Mitchell High School, 22 years old, first year teacher, right off the streets, no training.
Man, man, man. And you end up teaching, you said, was it Spanish?
I taught Spanish.
Okay. And you taught how many years?
I was in the classroom teaching Spanish for 8 years.
Wow.
And then I moved to leadership. So I was a PLC coach,
Okay.
professional learning community coach, and then a literacy coach before I changed careers.
Okay, okay. And I love how you called out your teacher, Miss Champion, right? And I know we have similar just love for teachers. Number one, you being one, but I always kind of call out one of my favorite teachers who, of course, has since passed away, but Miss Hardaway, and really how teachers really help shape you and pour into you and support you. And so I love how that teacher saw something in you, took a hold of you and said, "Hey, we need you in this space. What can I do to support you and move you to this particular space?" So again, just shout out all the teachers out there who constantly just pour so much into students on a daily basis. We definitely appreciate you. And I know you just finished your doctorate, right? What, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Two.
Two. Okay, two. Okay. And this podcast goes out to so many different students, so many different walks of life and parents, right? And so I guess what was the decision that you like, in your brain to say, "Hey, I want to now go and get a third or fourth degree, a terminal degree." What may help you make that particular decision?
Several things.
Okay.
One, I did love education. And so after my bachelor's, I did get my master's in education and
Okay.
then education specialist degree. I never intended to not get my doctorate. I
Okay.
just took a pause because family. We ended up
Right.
having kids and they were small. I always wanted to go back. So
Right.
so that was, and I'm pretty sure research supports Black women, we have the most degrees of
Yeah.
any other group. And I feel like, I mean, there are several reasons behind that also,
Yeah.
but I wanted it for the respect that I should have been given anyway, but
Mhm.
definitely now that I have it, I feel like I can demand a little bit more respect, a higher pay. I can negotiate my salary. So several reasons why I did go
Okay.
back to my doctorate.
Okay. And I like how you said, it was not I never want to do this. A lot of times students hear like, if it doesn't happen instantly, right? Or right now, I can't do it. Like there's something, a ship to basically pass past me, right? But I love how you said, "Hey, I had a family, I had, several jobs in between, but I never said I couldn't do it. It was just delay, right? But
Yep.
you made it happen." So that's a message that I definitely want to call out for all of our students that are watching. It may not come when you want it, it's the Bible verse says at church, but it's right on time. So really keep pursuing those particular dreams, and it can happen.
Yeah, and
I get,
truly
yeah,
more I had when I went back, had more to offer because I
yeah,
was able to share more of my experiences
right,
with my peers. I feel like I was able to really do better in school then
right,
than I probably would have if I had gone straight through because it
right,
would have been all theory and no practice. It would have
mm,
been what I learned in the textbook versus what
right.
I've actually learned in the field and through life.
Gotcha. I'm glad you called that out. Very, very important for those who might be looking to get a terminal degree. Sometimes it's just better to, get the experience, right? And you can really have more to offer. I love how you call that out. Again, the season is called Keeping It Real, right? I know we met in high school, right? I was at the Better High School, Overton. Y'all call y'all the high school central.
For a
Need you to
reason.
agree with me. But I guess a big question, right? We have a lot of couples that met in high school and go off to college. What recommendations, like dialing back, right, when we talk about dating in college, what are some of the benefits that you feel like you got from it? Or what are some of the things that you like, "Hey, y'all need to watch out for this," as students that might be watching, the lovebirds, as we love to call them from high school?
Yeah, I would say dating in college is great,
Yeah.
but don't get so caught up that dating supersedes college.
Mm-hmm.
Don't flunk out because you so in love, or you're heartbroken, or
Yeah.
there's plenty of time for that. I don't know, that's what the old people say, but it really is
Yeah.
true, because we dated in college. Looking back, I probably should have dated more. Probably should have dated a little bit more, but that's okay.
Right.
But we did, we had to take a hiatus, and
Yeah.
that was okay. It was necessary, because during that time, you're also figuring out who you are,
Yeah. Yeah.
and establishing what you will and will not allow. So I think definitely making sure that you don't let the relationship take over the
Mm-hmm.
reason why you're there. You're also there
Right.
to have a good time,
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
academic, also there to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to pledge a sorority or fraternity, do that. Don't
Right.
let the relationship take that over either.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's meant to be, it will be.
That's
And
true.
yeah, because we took a break, and for me it had ended, but you came back and got me. Had to work hard too, but again, and here we are 18 years later.
Yes, yes, yes. A lot of gray hair, but yeah, we are here. We are here. And I'm glad you kind of, you said, in college, it's a big thing, right? It's a time that you do get a chance to really figure yourself out more. You get to explore. College should be about trying new things, not only going to class to just get a degree. That is important, right? But I
Mhm.
feel like both of us being in fraternities, sororities, different groups at MTSU, we learn so much about life that we can still apply to this day. So very, very important that, like you said, put yourself first. You're there to create new experiences. Again, if you're dating or you have friendships or whatever the case may be, make sure that they are adding to you, not subtracting from you. Very, very key.
Absolutely.
Yes. I guess this is a big question that I get a lot, right? Folks sometimes see on social media or just out and about, hey, Dr. Boyd, we got two Dr. Boyds in this one space. And folks always say, well, I know your kids, they got to live up to your expectations, right? What would you say, like, how do you feel that we make sure that our kids are pursuing their own dreams and their own goals and not following behind Dr. Nikayla Boyd or Dr. Shawn Boyd?
Yeah, I think we are definitely raising individuals. Like, I don't expect either of them to do what we've done. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I actually
Mm-hmm.
want them to do better. Now, it's
Right.
exciting. Like, just as an example, when
Mm-hmm.
Caleb picked
Yeah.
out his band instrument, I was
Mm-hmm.
thrilled, because I was like, oh, he picked out the same instrument that I
Yeah.
did. He's
Yeah.
actually really good at it. But
Right.
I didn't tell him, boy, go get the alto sax. That's what I play, so that's what you got to
Yeah.
play. So
Yeah.
we really have to make sure that we are looking at their gifts,
Mm-hmm.
helping them to determine how to use them, which ones they want to use. Because I can even use Kendall as an example. Kendall
Yeah.
can sing, but Kendall doesn't want to sing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you and I had to make the decision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's stop paying for vocal. That's
Yeah.
not what she wants to do.
So
She
true.
wants to do cheer.
Yeah.
So now we pay for cheer. I'm a cheer mom, you're a
Yes.
cheer dad.
Yes.
So I think really just not pressuring them and letting them develop into who they are. And then if one of us sees the other getting out of line or pushing our own dreams on them, we have to let each other know we got to pull back, you know.
Got you. Got you. And I
Mhm.
think that's a huge piece of advice for any parent that has student going into college. A lot of times I would hear over my 20 years in higher ed, it's my mom want me to do this, or my mom want me to major in this, or my dad said this is not a good major. And you could just see it in the student's face that they want to do
Yep.
something totally different, but they're trying to like really honor their parents. And honestly, they end up usually, flunking out or
Mhm.
bad GPA or just having a terrible life because, we all learn, hey, we each have our purpose and our passion. And I think as parents, it's up to us, to just fuel those in our students and our kids. And so I'm glad you called it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and one or both of them might decide against college. Now, am I going
Right.
to cry
Yeah.
crocodile tears in my
Yeah.
room?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
You
true.
know,
So
one
true.
or both of them, if they do go to college, might decide to choose other fraternities or sororities. Am I going to
Right.
cry crocodile tears? Yes. Am I going to
I
pay for
will.
it? No, not at all.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
if that's what they choose to do, then that's what we're gonna, as long as it's legal and it's
Right.
helping them to develop into productive citizens, I'm all for it.
So true. So true. And I know we're coming towards the end of the interview. This has been great. I'm so glad to have you on here, Dr. Boyd. Y'all see, I'm just constantly smiling because, you know, it's good to just have your wife in your corner over here doing a amazing job. But I want to ask you, you know, in 2024, you know, especially when we look at students of color, right? And there's just not a lot of students that are going to college. You know, they really don't see the value in college. A lot of them are, you know, saying, hey, you know, Amazon is right up the street. I can make $18 an hour. I'm gonna go work. You know, college is not for me. What type of real advice would you give to that young lady that's coming out of high school or the young male who
Mhm.
questioning, they're on the line about college? What type of advice could you give them?
I would say before you count it out,
Mm-hmm.
look into the alternatives.
Right.
If
Mm-hmm.
it is Amazon,
Mm.
and $18 an hour is great now,
Yeah.
but where will you max out? Is
Mm.
that going to put you where you want to be in your future?
Right.
You want to work that hard for the rest of your life? Is
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
somewhere is this what you really, really want to do?
So true.
Education just, it can be expensive,
Mm-hmm.
but it just opens up so many doors
Right.
that you might not have available or you wouldn't be able to walk through had you not had the education. I'm even seeing that in the healthcare field that I transitioned to.
Yeah.
When we don't have the appropriate education, then we're not able to make the right choices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So educate
Mm.
yourself on, really look at the past, like
Right.
where one direction will take you and where the other direction will take you. Do your research before you completely count college out. It may not be a 4-year institution. You might want to get a certificate. You
Right.
may want to get an associate's,
Mm-hmm.
but figure all of that out before you say, nope, I'm just going to go clock in at
Right.
Amazon
Mm-hmm.
and go get my check. Is that what you
Mm-hmm.
really want to do for the rest of your life?
So true, so true. And that again, you just mentioned there's so many options now. I feel like we didn't even have all these options, you know, 20
Mm-mm.
years ago. You got certifications, you got certificates, you got 2-year college, you got 4-year, you got technical. So the list just goes on and on. But I love how you're saying, you know, look at all options, right? And see what's for you, make a educated decision and go forth and be great. You know, that's what it's all about
Yeah.
in the
And
game
let
of
me say
college.
this,
Yeah.
Amazon might be your choice,
Yeah.
and that is
Yeah.
okay. But just
Mm-hmm.
before
Mm-hmm.
you make that decision, because
Yeah.
we order from Amazon,
Right.
we
Every
love
day.
Amazon.
Every day. Yes.
Amazon's probably pulling up now.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with it, but
Yeah.
just make sure that you've looked at all the paths before you decide which one you want to take.
Right. So true. So true. This has been great. I want to ask maybe two more questions before we end. You know, I talk a lot about mentorship, right? And how mentorship is just important in life, but especially in the game of college. You know, a lot of times we have, you know, sometimes that Memphis mentality, nobody needs nobody, right? Students come in and like, I could do it by myself. I'm good. How has mentorship played a role in your life and definitely, you know, through college, if you can maybe even call out a mentor?
Yeah, I've had a mentor pretty much through every step. MTSU, I had Dr. Linda Hare, may she rest
Mm-hmm.
in peace.
Yeah.
But she really showed, she kind of motivated me to keep going. After
Right.
that, I've had Black women mentors pretty much on every job except
Mhm.
one
Okay.
that shall
Yeah.
remain nameless.
Right.
But I did, and they just have really, been able to speak life, help
Mm.
me navigate my career and my choices, and even my personal life.
Yeah.
And they've also, I think one thing people need to really think about or
Hmm.
consider, you don't want a mentor who's just going to be a yes man or somebody that's like,
So
yeah,
true.
you need somebody that's going to really tell you the truth.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so if they do see you going down a path like, oh, that may not be what you want to do, have someone who can help talk you off the ledge
Right.
or say, nope, that's just not a good idea. And
Hmm.
here's why. People who've experienced some things and that you respect, and who can share their perspective and just help you navigate
Mm.
literally everything.
Man, so very important. And you know, it's, you know, with students, you don't have to, you know, I think sometimes we imagine a mentor to be the president of the university, right? It could just be someone small or a student that's a grade higher than you. You come in an incoming freshman. It could be a sophomore who's been through some of the same lived experiences, right? Who can tell you about the hidden agenda in that college, So sometimes just open your mouth, speak, seek out a mentor. I know with both of us, even, at our ages now, is so very important in our day to day. So again, thank you for talking about the importance of mentorship, which is another chapter in the book that I talk about that as well. So as we come to a close, Dr. Boyd, I feel like we need a part two. But I want to turn it over to you. A lot of times people, we talk about that all the time. People see social media, especially the work that I do. I post a lot as far as traveling to different colleges and students, and you see the behind the scenes, right? You see the sleepless nights that I think we just had one of those ones recording it today. You see the dreams come true, the supports, the disappointments. How is it being married to me? That's a real question because this season is about keeping it real. Let the people know.
It is a lot. It is a lot because this man worked in his sleep last night, and I and tossed and turned all night long, and therefore I'm operating on 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
But it's good. I think we align on a lot of things, particularly around education. We have shared values, so it's a lot, but it's good.
Yeah.
It is good, and it's exciting to be on this journey most days.
When you can get some
Maybe
sleep,
not
right?
today. Yeah,
Right.
maybe not today, but most
Yes.
days it is exciting to be on the journey and to see your dreams come true.
Thank you. Thank you. And Dr. Boyd, part of this season, every guest I've had, or will have this season, let me say, I have a segment and I call, just keeping it real with you all. Again, I was super intentional. I had some great guests season 1, season 2. But to be honest, I didn't know them all. They had some great information to share. But everyone that you will see in season 3, I know personally. And so that's why I wanted to kick it off with you. And part of this, I want to give you each guest their flowers. So right now, as my wife, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. You just said no sleep. But just the thought partnership, sometimes you'd be like, look here, we need to close the computer. We ain't gonna focus on this, but just being a partner in life, I tell folks all the time, it's great when you find somebody you can really do life with. You can support each other goals, their visions, the growth. I remember when we didn't have much at all in college, we joke back and say, hey, you remember your car, the window didn't let down, or, we had to eat at Burger King and different things like that, right? And so being able to just grow over the years together, and like you said, they share a vision around education and really supporting students. So again, just thank you for being a person that you are, the boss, the leader in all the different spaces. And so, again, I just want to thank you for loving me for over 2 decades. It's a long time. That's a long time. And so with that being said, thank you for being on the podcast. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
I think just one quick thing.
Yeah.
Students who are considering college but don't think that they can do it, or you don't think you're smart enough, you don't have to be smart to go to college.
So true.
You have to have common sense, and you have to understand how to use your resources. You have to be persistent, but you don't have to be the most intellectual or the most smart person, or the smartest person rather, in the room. Because I mean, it's the fact you and I have the same degree,
right?
And I'm smarter than you. Like it's no question.
Feel like that could be a real. I'm gonna make sure this is a real. Yes.
But we
we
both
can
have
agree.
the same credentials, like the same degree.
Yes, yes. So true.
No, you don't, and these are facts. I am smarter than you. So we can end there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fight after this. We won't do this on camera. We're gonna do this on camera. But thank you for saying that. I think there's, again, we deal with students all the time, and there's always those students who say, I don't belong at the table. I'm not smart enough. I don't have a certain look, or I can't pursue a certain degree because I don't have the resources. But we are 2 living examples. Like, we've been able to break a lot of generational curses, right? Just talked about the Burger King, before. And so I always just look to God. I could say that on this podcast, He will supply every single need. So with that being said, go forth. On that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the premiere of season 3 with Dr. Nikayla Boyd today. Every Wednesday, y'all, I'm dropping a great interview. We having some really great, real conversations when it comes to college and beyond. So if you have not subscribed, make sure you do so. Make sure you share, make sure you comment. Dr. Boyd is going to reply to your comments under this YouTube video, right, Dr. Boyd?
Dr. Shawn Boyd is
All
going to
right.
reply because I don't do social media. I don't do YouTube like that. I don't even know
But
how to comment.
I feel it in my spirit. You're gonna respond to this one because this gonna hit a lot of people. It's gonna hit a lot of people, especially a lot of young women. So I know you're gonna respond. And
Okay.
also make sure you get a copy of, okay, here we go. How to Play the Game of College. Amazon, you can go to my website. Make sure you grab a copy. See you next week.
And it's on Kindle.
And on Kindle, yes. Thank you for saying that. That's why you need a point in your life. All right. See y'all next week.